He's a detective down in Texas. He knows just exactly. Alrighty, folks. I'm live. I'm not the only thing that's live. There's something else going on that might be live as well. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay in the comments there. Um, Forgive me, y'all, for hopping on stream at this moment. I've been, as some of you might be able to imagine, busy the last couple hours here, running around, doing some good stuff. Um, Folks, PulseChain is live. PulseChain is live. This is massive, massive news. I'll be covering some stuff. What is up, everyone in the chat? I see Tintop. What is up, my good? Oh, Granddad Hermes. What's up? In the Fire. Chris Interlock. Trin Bitcoiner. Comma. What is up, everyone? It's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys like the background here. We'll be delving into kind of the PulseChain launch. What's up? What's up? Wi-Fi cheese. Folks, this is huge news. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start talking about PulseChain. Before I do, I just want to point out some of the recent sponsorships of the brand new channel. We got Bud Light, we got Lockheed Martin. So I'm very proud to announce that me and Charlie D'Amelio have partnered with Lockheed Martin to put a more positive spin on the upcoming war in an undisclosed region in the Pacific. So very happy to partner with Lockheed Martin. Everyone like and subscribe. Shout out to Lockheed. But fuck all this nonsense. We got to talk about PulseChain. PulseChain, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a moment to share my screen. Actually, before I share my screen, I'm going to turn off this this jet engine in the background. Again, guys, if you can let me know how my audio is, if you're hearing me okay, just let me know in the comments. I'd greatly appreciate that. Guys, it's finally here. I've been waiting. Well, I'm sure many of you have been waiting as well for years for this shit to come out, and it is finally out. So, okay, I turned off the jet engine. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna delve into good stuff. Some good stuff. Who knows? I might even invite a folk or two to hop on the live stream in a second. But before we do that, why don't we have some fun and take a look at this? Oh, look at this, folks. PulseChain mainnet is now live as of a couple hours ago. This is huge news. Tintop saying audio thumbs up. Thank you very much, my guy. So, folks, as some of you may know or may not know, I've went all in on PulseChain, PulseX. I started my journey as a cryptocurrency person by day trading, trying to find the newest low cap gem of the week, chasing every ICO, all in an effort to attempt to find the promise that crypto gives all of us, which is the opportunity for financial freedom. And it wasn't until the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifice phases rolled around where I'd learned enough, where I put my thesis to the test. I went absolutely all in. I put my entire goddamn life savings into PulseChain and into PulseX, specifically much more heavy into PulseX. And it's been a uneasy 2 years to say the least. And the fact that it's here has been great, folks. So I've been using this time to deploy a portion of my dry powder, a portion of my copies into PulseChain. And so why don't we take a look at some ratios? So currently speaking, folks, the PulseChain to PulseX ratio is roughly hovering around what we saw during the testnet. So I've been seeing this ratio kind of hover between 1 to 3, 1 to 4, as we just seen. So it's not too off from what we saw during the testnet. And more so, I believe this could also be a function of just people foaming the PulseChain. Like for those people who wanted PulseChain, got into PulseX for PulseChain, or for those people who miss PulseChain, it makes sense that the first couple hours that mainnet's out, that is going to be the time in which people FOMO into PulseChain. So come the bridge in 48-ish hours, come a week or so later, I wouldn't be surprised if this ratio stabilizes from a 1-to-4 ratio closer to a 1-to-3, 1-to-2.5 ratio, just because if there was a time for people to FOMO into PulseChain, the time is now. So it would make sense that there would be a bit more of a crazy ratio. I personally saw the ratio get as high as to 1-to-6, but thankfully it stabilized. Also, I don't know about you guys, but there was a ton of failed transactions on my end, which actually frankly worked out because I'm not going to lie to you. My shittiest ratio I got for accumulating PulseChain was 1-to-35. And that was closer to when we first launched. But thankfully, I got so many failed transactions that I didn't accumulate a lot around those ranges. I thankfully accumulated much more PulseChain at around the 80 to about 100 PulseChain per hex during that ratio. And folks, the stable coins, I was so surprised that the stable coins actually got some value, which is great. Let me check the audio. So LS is saying, "Yo, Brandon, I've been following you since the PulseX sack. Let's fucking go." Oh man, that's awesome, guys. That's great to hear. What up, man? Liquid loans to follow. Yes, guys. Liquid loans, Power City, Internet Money, Time. We got a ton of products, and launching on PulseChain, guys. This is huge. I've been following you. So yeah, guys, this is great stuff. Will you be trading your PulseX? So, guys, I invite you to follow me on Twitter. I've been very, very active on Twitter. Because here's the thing, guys. I'm still a normal person. So when I don't have time to make videos and stuff, what I do have time to do is tweet. And so I've been tweeting very actively. So there should be a link down in the description. Please go follow me on Twitter. I bring this up because one of the things I most recently tweeted that got a good bit of attention, at least relative to me, was me talking about some potential ratio trading, some potentially selling PulseX, PulseChain, that kind of thing. So my whole idea with ratio trading, and this is kind of a tweet kind of referring to this topic. So my whole thing with ratio trading is that ratio trading only makes sense if you're getting a very, very obvious deal. So, seeing that we're hovering around the testnet ratios, there's no obvious deal here. Like if we saw 1-to-10, 1-to-15, 1-to-20 ratio, then I would have perhaps considered, some ratio trading. But given that we're hovering around testnet ratios, I don't think ratio trading makes any kind of sense at these regions. At least that's my opinion. Capital B is saying, "I'm really hurt right now. Seriously, I'm really hurt, Brandon." I hope you're okay, Capital B. I hope you're trolling me. If you are trolling me, that's a good troll. It's objectively funny. But I hope you're okay. Let us know in the comments, Capital B, if you're doing okay. And guys, let me know if you have any questions. By the way, brand spanking new channel. So every single like, every single subscribe, every single share greatly helps. Guys, for those of you who know me, some of you may not know me, I did A Million of the Moon. A Million of the Moon's going in a bit of a different direction. So I'll be doing mostly finance content on this channel. So it's a brand new channel. We're literally at around 700 subs. So again, every like, every share is greatly appreciated. Just a tiny bit, tried earlier, but stuck. Enable for like 30 minutes, so didn't trade yet. Yeah, so I got a lot of failed transactions, and the fees are like very high. I was seeing some fees that are like 1 or even 2 PulseChain, which is crazy. So only Finner saying 1T burn, baby. How to add PulseX. Okay, guys, so look. Always go to official sources for looking up contract addresses. Something you got to understand. There is going to be a fuck ton of scammers today, tomorrow, and coming weeks and months trying to take advantage of this community. Okay, there are going to be a lot of airdrops of random tokens or tokens that say PulseX, but it's misspelled, where like the S is in front of the E. And you're going to see that token. You're going to be like, oh, I got a bunch of value here. I'm going to go swap it. And then it'll ask for some permissions. And then there'll be some secret permissions that drain your wallet. So my point is, do not FOMO anything. Always go to official sources for contract addresses. Always double check. If you see some random airdrop that you don't recognize, do not fucking touch it. Always make sure you're doing things calm, cool, and collected. So in that effort, if you're trying to find contract addresses, go to PulseChain.com. There's a prompt here to add PulseX to your wallet, to add PulseChain to your wallet. Now, let's say you're trying to find the contract address for some USDC copy, some DAI copy. Well, in that case, you go to the PulseChain scan. So scan.pulsechain.com. And then you go here, you look up TDAI or like USDC. I'll bring it up here. All right. So let's say you had some stable coins, right? You look up USDC, you go here, you copy this address, and then I'm not going to open up my MetaMask now, but you just paste this address in the add token section, and that's how you find the official sources for smart contract addresses. So for PulseChain, PulseX, it's on the main goddamn website here. For everything else, like for your hex, for example, you just go to scan.pulsechain.com, go here, copy, paste, for example, right? Like, so I just copied hex. If we go back to the exchange here, hex is already preloaded, but my point is you would paste the contract address, select here, and that's how you go about things, folks. Philip M, what up, chat? Someone in Hexologist stream got a 1 PLS to 30k PLS ratio right when that was live. That's a crazy ratio. But see, the thing is, how much liquidity was really there? Like, you probably weren't able to capitalize on very much at all at that ratio. So, in the slippage, these crazy ratios, folks, almost no one can actually capitalize on them. Filterando saying, good night, I'm Brazilian. Okay, help me buy PulseX using a MetaMask, please. I don't want to miss this opportunity. Guys, there's no need to FOMO. There's absolutely no need to FOMO. Right now, PulseChain is in the pre-bridge phase, meaning there's a 48-hour period where the only people able to operate on the mainnet were people who sacrificed for PulseChain or sacrificed for PulseX, or if you had ERC20s on your MetaMask, like if you had USDC on your MetaMask, if you had Chainlink on your MetaMask, you will get a copy of those tokens on the PulseChain mainnet. So let's say you had some USDC. Like I mentioned before, you would go to scan.pulsechain.com, look up USDC, right? Copy the smart contract. You would go, here, paste the smart contract address. That's how you would find USDC, right? And you do the same thing. You would the exact same process for adding a new token in your wallet, and that's how you would go about things currently. By the way, what is one PulseChain worth? 76 cents. So that's sorry. Forgive me. I'm a bit excited. That's crazy. Yeah. So if that it ends up being the price, I might just retire here now, folks. Oh my God, folks! If we have a 2-cent PulseX, I might have to double check my math. I was never quite good at math, but I think I might be able to retire. We'll see. Anyways, I don't want to. Anyways, I'll keep reading here. I hope that answered your question. How do you feel about the forked USDC? They have no value, right? So it would be of interest to trade. I can't tell you what to do, man. Once the bridge is live, there might be some liquidity. We don't know. It's extremely ambiguous. It's very speculative. What I can tell you is that I personally chose to get rid of my stablecoin copies. And even though I didn't really get the greatest rate, it's fucking free. So, you can't really complain too much. We need to build a new chain to fix pulse gas fee. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe a couple years. You cannot buy yet. Who knows, guys? And there might be some exchange things down the road. Any safe faucets only have PLSX. I remember there was a faucet, but that was just for testing. I don't think so, man. The safest bet is to wait until the bridge, because I think in your case, if you don't have any PulseChain, yeah, it's tough. I think you're gonna have to wait till after the bridge, man. If you don't have any PulseChain, I think the faucet was only for the test net. I from my understanding, I could be wrong, but you know, because the issue is, man, like if you go on Telegram and start asking people, people are gonna send you scam links, all this bullshit. So in all this uncertainty, guys, we exist in an environment where like absolutely everyone on Telegram, everyone on Twitter wants to scam you, wants your coins because they know how valuable they are. So the best way to mitigate all that risk is to be very calm, very cool and collected. Take your time. Don't fucking FOMO anything. If hey, I don't got any pulse chain and there's no faucet, gotta wait till the bridge. That's it. I'm sure you'll do fine. I'm sure you'll do fine. The pairs are extremely liquid. There's a shit ton of slippage right now. So I think you'll be okay. Tintop is saying, did you claim wait midnight bonus convert to version 2? I did mint my wait, but I'm not sure of the bonus, and I did not convert to version 2. I haven't been tracking it a whole lot, to be honest. But thank you for reminding me. I should double check in regards to what's going on with that. What's the PulseX circulating supply? That is a very, very good question. So if we want to find out the PulseX circulating supply, I'm pretty sure we can just I'm pretty sure that's it right there, man. So let's see. 143 trillion billion. I'm not too good at math, my guy, but okay, no, hold on. This is 143 billion. It was 143 billion. Unless I go to tokens, blockchain. Yeah, it's 143 billion. There you go. That answers your question. I can't even do anything. Got tons of pending transactions trying to approve spending caps. Yeah, so this happened to me too with a bunch of pending transactions. So what happened for me, I'm not recommending anything, not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. I just had to cancel them and I sped up the transactions. Additionally, guys, if you're doing anything on PulseChain right now, before you finalize your transaction, if you're using MetaMask, most people are, make sure you click the setting to the aggressive gas limit. You want to increase the gas limit. You don't want to do the normal gas limit because right now everyone's FOMOing everything, right? Everyone's trying to farm liquidity. Everyone's FOMOing. So increase your gas limit. That would definitely help. So what I did when I had a bunch of transactions that weren't going through, I just canceled them, maxed out the gas limit, and when I redid it, I made sure I maxed out the gas limit. That's all you're going to do. BitHacks is saying 30,000 hacks, 43 mil pulse sounds good. You're far better off than the 99% of people in the world who have no idea what this is. I would say that's definitely not bad. And again, for me, folks, like we got this bull market is likely to top off summer 2025. We got 2 years of dollar cost averaging into dips like ahead of us. So yeah, I'd say that's great, man. Especially if you got it pre-fork, that 30,000 hacks is really 60,000 hacks. Black Millennial is saying, so if people plan to cash out, they would have to use Bridge to buy Ethereum and send to Coinbase to cash out. So let's address this question about cashing out, right? So let's say, you got your whatever million You got your million PulseX and they're cashing out for 20 grand, right? So you'd sell your PulseX. Now you got USDC. Okay, so let me preface this. This whole cashing out question is going to evolve over time because pre-bridge there's not a lot of liquidity. Post-bridge, there's going to be new liquidity being bridged in. We don't know what the main stablecoin is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be DAI, USDC, USDT. There's also going to be liquid loans launching with their own stablecoin. There's going to be Power City launching the Earn protocol with their own stablecoin. There's going to be the Wait guys launching their own stablecoin. So my point is, this ecosystem PulseChain is going to evolve. There's going to be many more offboarding options as the days and weeks go on. So there's going to be many options in order to offboard. But what you would do, let's say a month from now, once, let's say USDC ends up being the main coin on PulseChain, well, what liquidity providers would do is that they would bridge over USDC into the bridge, and then they would be wrapped USDC on PulseChain. And so you would sell your PLSX for wrapped USDC, go to the bridge, and then that bridge would exchange your wrapped USDC for USDC, and then you would just have USDC on Ethereum, and then from there you would send it to your Coinbase, your Kraken, whatever exchange you use to offboard. Hope that makes sense. Tin Top is saying some poor sacrificer swapped all his PLS for worthless USDC. What? Why? Racked after waiting almost 2 years, swapped all of it. Oh, that fucking breaks my heart. God damn it, man. Like, do these people not watch live streams? Like, you just gotta ask one fucking person, and they'd be like, no, you crazy bastard. Don't fucking do that. Ugh, breaks my heart. Well, at least the case with people like this is, guys, we're pre-bridged. Like, you could probably take the next, find a full-time job, get another fucking job, and over the next couple months, dollar cost averaging the dips, and you'll probably end up being okay. So even if you royally fuck up, guys, the first month, the first quarter that layer ones have been out historically have been an all-time low. So, that's what you got to consider. You got 9 hours left for Wait Midnight bonus. Okay, appreciate that. I'll take a look at that later on. Tin Top, it's unbelievable. Anyone doing farms, I'm going to wait. Yeah, I'm going to wait, guys. I don't like these. Because with farms, there's impermanent loss. And in my opinion, why not just wait for a PulseX single-side staking pool? And then why not just wait for someone to fork Rocket Pool, and then you could, stake your PulseChain in a pool and earn interest that way? Like, it just seems like all this, it's rather unnecessary, in my opinion. Black Millennial saying LOL. Hope that was not the God. Tin Top saying LOL as well. Guys, this is huge. So unfortunately, Hex has dumped quite a bit as well. But like, fuck it, guys. This is like a short-term problem. This dump is a problem for what? The next couple of weeks, the next couple of months. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in the first 90 days we see a 10x with PulseChain, PulseX. So this dump, in my opinion, is going to be quite short-lived. What is going to be interesting to see moving forward is if there's going to be any kind of parity in between EHEX and PHEX. I want to check out Richard's Twitter. I'm surprised Richard has not live streamed yet. I know he live streamed for the launch of Hex, and so I'd be curious if he ends up doing something similar with PulseChain. I don't think so, because in all honesty, as much as I'm a fucking permeable on this ecosystem, guys, and I sacrificed my entire life savings, the reality is that the SEC is investigating PulseX, is investigating PulseChain, and I would not be surprised if that's the reason Richard deleted his Instagram, made it harder for him to contact, and isn't live. He probably will go live at some point. He'll probably make the rounds with some of these larger YouTube channels, but the behavior we're seeing from Richard in terms of his public appearances is definitely different from what we saw with the Hex launch. And that could be a question of him simply being busy. That's definitely a solid possibility, is why we're seeing less of Richard. But, that's, some of the ongoing stuff with the SEC. I don't think I'm unreasonable for assuming that could be a factor as to why Richard is making himself more scarce. But who knows? Maybe when the bridge goes live, we'll hear more of Richard. Oh, look at KG right now. Man, I should. I wonder if I should invite anyone onto the stream. This is what ratio trading is like right now, folks, because there's no good ratio to be had. Let's take a look at the ratio. So one PulseChain is currently 4.1 PulseX. Yeah, that's not insane in my opinion. 4.4, it's kind of a little high. But I wouldn't consider any ratio trading unless we got like a 1 to 10 plus ratio. Yeah, I wouldn't. Maybe if we had, let's say we had a 1 to 6 ratio right now, I might swap 2%, 5% of my PulseChain for PulseX. But the only time in which ratio trading makes sense is if you can get a great deal. And right now, a 1 to 4-ish ratio is not an obvious deal. So I would genuinely only start to be tempted to ratio trade once we see 1 to 10 plus, if that. Again, guys, like and subscribe. It's a brand new channel. So I genuinely appreciate every single like, every single sub, every share. Just bumps up the channel tremendously. Excuse me. Sorry. By the way, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my eyes are pretty bloodshot. I've been staring at screens all day. By the way, what's up with this nonsense of Richard being like 8 hours? I'm only sleeping 8 hours, and then it turned out to just be nothing. I love Richard. He's a funny guy. He's like he's just fucking with us for nothing. Like that 8-hour bullshit turned out to be nothing. But we can forgive him. I'm okay with it. Richard has disappeared to Cuba. Cuba. Oh fuck, man. Does that sound nice? Oh my god, guys. Look, again, I mentioned it earlier. I put my entire life, you guys don't get it. I risked it all. I put everything I'd accumulated. Because I started getting into crypto heavy in summer 2020. So, and then the sacrifice was what, a year or so later, 1.5, 2 years later. Point is, I put everything into this. I took I don't want to mention to what extent, but my point is I went extremely heavy. And look, guys, I've been living not as frugal as I possibly can. Like I recently, I don't know how many of you guys have been following the channel, but I made a video talking about how I sold my car a couple months ago, not too long ago, 2 or 3 months ago or something, in order to have more dry powder for this ecosystem. I didn't need to get that car. It was kind of outside of my range, but my point is I wanted to get something a little bit nice because I've been so frugal. Like, guys, I recently just bought myself like new t-shirts for the first time in like 2 years. I've been so diligent in putting every fucking spare penny I can into this ecosystem. I have not withdrawn anything. I'm trying to think. No, I haven't withdrawn anything, and since I entered this ecosystem back in summer 2020, all went into this. And so my whole ramble is to say that fuck, does Cuba sound nice? I would definitely not mind going to fucking Cuba. Cuba's amazing. Oh my god, if we get a solid 2 or 3x, I mean, I don't know, guys. Like my whole thing is, for me, I really want to wait until 2025. Like I don't want to sell. The idea of selling anything below 100x disgusts me. Because I know, like, let's say I go to Cuba, right? And I spend $1,000 going to Cuba. Well, that $1,000 is going to end up being worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions, later on, so as time goes on. So because I know that very, very well, I'm extremely dissuaded from fucking taking any sorts of profits. My hope is that at some point I can use like staking rewards to start living more of a human being's life. So yeah, if you see me in Cuba in a couple months, it's because I use staking rewards to do so. Oh my god, I went to Cuba once way back in the day, and it was gorgeous. Poverty, of course, very, very sad. But it was beautiful country. Oh, the beaches. Oh my god. Oh god. Anyways, What else are you guys saying here in the chat? RH is napping probably. Wouldn't blame the guy. He's probably gonna be pretty busy. I saw Hex to 570 PLSX earlier. That's juicy. Whoa. Mamma mia. All right, let's take a look. PulseX. Yeah, that is a great ratio in my opinion. One to 570, 1 to 600 is a great ratio. I've been swapping some Hex for PulseX at above 300, which was not terrible in my opinion. Although I really don't need to. I went very heavy into PulseX. Really, it's PulseChain that I personally need to accumulate. I didn't go very heavy into PulseChain, although I did go in, just not very heavy. Can I still buy Hex and get the free Hex copies? No, you can't. You are late. I invite you to like and subscribe, though, because I've been talking about this nonstop for 2 years. And, I'll be covering plenty of opportunities. So, yeah, no, you missed the copy, but do not fucking feel like you're late whatsoever. We're literally pre-bridge, with PulseChain, guys. Like, you're so goddamn early. You're so early. So, do not feel bad about missing that copy, but yeah, you missed the copy. Yeah, you missed the copy, my guy. 2 years and we can retire in Cuba. I risked it all same time as you, bro. Right on, man. I hope it works out. I really goddamn do. And guys, look, by the way, I want to take a moment to just hover on this point because I've been through a bull market. I've been through a period of euphoria. If you guys do not, if you take one thing away from this entire goddamn stream, it's create a take profit strategy that is based off objective parameters. For example, one parameter might be you sell 1 year or you sell some amount or you take your initial investment out plus a little bit of profit 1 year after the latest Bitcoin halving. All right. Or maybe you wait until Bitcoin loses the 50-day SMA. Typically altcoins tend to reach their all-time high a month or 2 or 3 after Bitcoin. In my personal opinion, summer 2025, guys, like if I die, if you forget about crypto for years, just remember this one fucking thing. Summer 2025 is probably the next time shit is going to start looking very toppy. Now, I want to take a moment to shill my my Patreon group because I have a point to make. So down in the description below, I started a new Discord group where a large part of that group is me sharing my thoughts as to how to attempt to capitalize on the majority of what this bull run has to offer. So I will be trying to time and get very close to the next all-time high in this market because I think I know what it takes. And in my group, I share several factors that I'm considering. But point being, you don't have to do that. Like literally, guys, accumulating roughly near bottom and selling roughly near top is all you need to do. And in my most humble of opinions, there's a solid chance that things will start to look very toppy in and around summer 2025, give or take a quarter or two. So I'm not God, I don't fucking know, but given like I've been studying this market so closely, given all the arguments of lengthening cycles and how we typically start to look toppy a year for latest Bitcoin halving and how Bitcoin tends to hold the 50-day SMA as support throughout the length of the bull run, and once we lose it, it marks the end. And then all coins top off a month or two after summer 2025. If you take away anything, I hope you can take away this piece of knowledge that I think will really help a lot of people out, because a lot of people in this fucking community like to say that, oh, we're decorrelated. That was a huge narrative back when Hex was getting toppy, back around 40 cents. All these giant Hex influencers were saying, oh, Hex is decorrelated. We're going to perform amazingly in the bear market. No, the fuck we didn't. We're extremely correlated to the rest of the market. Bitcoin's going to start to look pretty fucking toppy come, mid 2025, around there. I mean, all coins will look pretty fucking toppy sometime, a couple months after. So just understand that if you don't plan on taking profits around that time, be prepared to hold through a 95% plus correction a year and a half longer, because there will be a fucking bear market sometime in 2026, 2027, and then the next Bitcoin halving is 2028, and then the next bull market is likely sometime 2029. Hope that helps you guys. I genuinely think it will. My friend, there is different between total supply and circulation supply. If the total supply of 140 trillion will be all in the market, PulseX will. Yeah, that's a good point. But the point is, this is so funny. Like this whole, oh God, I can't, I'm so not looking forward to have 1,000 versions of this conversation talking about market cap because it's just such an easy answer. I should make a fucking video talking about it. That way I can just refer people to that video moving forward. But just to answer your question, since you asked it, you're right. If there's a massive, 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 massive supply and that supply is touching the market, it's extremely hard to do this insane growth. But the thing you got to understand is, guys, the Richard Hart supply is extremely likely to not touch the market, very similar to how, the origin address, the hex origin address, that supply never touches the market except the stake. So then what you got to consider is the supply that people that sacrificed. The people that sacrificed for PulseX specifically, it was about $1 billion worth of sacrifice value. But it's only a very small fraction of that supply that's going to be interacting with the liquidity pools at any given day. So basically, to think about market cap, it's a fraction of a fraction that influences the day-to-day price and influences the ceiling in which we can appreciate. So that's what you got to understand when you see the market cap, when you see the total supply, it's not that total supply that's actually determining the price. It's actually a fraction of that supply determining the price. You got to ignore the origin address SAC, and then only a small minority of the actual amount that was sacrificed by people actually interacts with the market in a given day and is actually going to be in the liquidity pool. So it's the liquidity pools that actually determines the price appreciation. And if the liquidity pool is a fraction of the total supply, well, then the total supply might as well not even exist because it's not interacting with the market. The supply that's interacting with the market, which determines the price, is a fraction of the total supply and the total market cap. So I hope that kind of answers the question. Tin Top is saying that will pay off in 2 years. Then you can upgrade new underwear. Exactly. Rich tweeted. What did Rich tweet? Everyone panic. There's tweets. Look at this iguana. Those things are dinosaurs, man. Oh, by the way, while I find this tweet, I just want to invite y'all to please like and subscribe. Brand new channel. So again, all your support greatly matters, greatly impacts. Like, guys, look, reality is if you go watch Bitboy Crypto, your sub does not mean shit to him. This is a brand new channel with like 700 subscribers. Like, when I see a new sub, when I go like in the behind of the scenes, I'm able to see your name and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, thank you for your support. Like, it really matters for a small channel like this. So appreciate it. Richard tweeted out, PulseChain is doing about 120 transactions a block, 10-second blocks. At this rate, that's 1 million transactions a day. So look, we're faster. Yeah, look at that. We're faster than Ethereum. We're cheaper than Ethereum. That's all PulseChain needs to do stupid growth. And to kind of tie things back to an earlier version of this conversation, guys, I really want to hammer this home. Whether PulseChain does 100x, 1,000x, or 10,000x, I really want to encourage specifically my community, people who follow me, to stop thinking in those terms. You need to start thinking in a much more productive frame set, which is thinking in terms of when do bull markets top off? Because the market does not give a fuck about our opinions. The market doesn't give a fuck whether you're hoping for a 10,000x. What if it only gives you an 8,000x and you never sold because you were waiting for that 10,000x? Guys, there are clear signs that I've made many videos about back in A Million to the Moon. Now I'm sharing a lot of that stuff in my Patreon group. Down in the description below, if you to join the Discord, I share a bunch of the stuff there. But there's telltale markers for when euphoric markets start to show signs of weakness. For example, during a parabola, there's always a support level, an EMA, a ribbon, a simple moving average that holds the support with length of the bull market. Once you test it during a bull market, it solidifies the support. You go parabolic, you test it once again, and it fails. It marks the end of the euphoria of the parabola. So my point is, there's technical markers to understand when the parabola has lost its shape. Thankfully, we exist in a market where Bitcoin leads the market. Bitcoin pumps first, reaches all-time high first, and then Ethereum, the past two cycles, 2017, 2021, Ethereum reached its all-time high 28 or so days after, and then some other altcoins took a month or two afterwards. So my point is, we have such an insane privilege. Like, this is such a fucking massive cheat code. People are so stupid. People think crypto is risky. It's not actually risky. We have the great benefit of existing in a market in which the main bullish factor repeats on a four-year schedule, that being Bitcoin having. Not only that, Bitcoin leads the market and tops off months before the altcoins, meaning if you understand the signs to look out for to understand when the parabola has ended, you have an early warning indicator, and there's many different other things you could look at to try and time things closer to the top, which is what I'm doing in my Patreon group, like 5,000 as well, blah, 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 blah. But my point to summarize here is that all this 500x, 1000x, 1000x is bullshit. No. You need to think in terms of when is the market going to top off, and I'm going to take whatever the market happens to give me. Like, for example, if you're waiting for 100x and come summer 2025, PulseChain only does a 94x, and then let's say you never sold because you were fucking sure that 100x, all the YouTubers said we're gonna get 100x and we're only at a 94x. I might as well wait. If I wait, I can buy that extra car or I can do whatever, right? But the market doesn't give a shit about your opinions. All right. If we're seeing those signs of weaknesses, and it's around that time in which we should be getting toppy, and we've only done a 90x when you're waiting for 100x, in my opinion, having made these mistakes myself in the past, it's so important to look out for the markets that the market gives you and take profits based off that objective criteria instead of these arbitrary price predictions that the market doesn't give a shit about. So if that spiel wasn't worth a like and a sub and a share, I don't know what is. So but let's go back to this tweet here. Is my stomach rumbling, folks? I think my stomach is rumbling. I gotta fucking drink a beer or something. Gotta do something to celebrate this. So yeah, no, this is great stuff. We've burned a shit ton of PulseX. That's awesome. 1 hex to 500 PulseX. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'd say that's a good ratio, in my opinion. You're not even late for copy, dude. You fucking missed it. Ha ha. Will the price discovery happen after the bridge? Yes, exactly. So right now, only ratios exist. We will have prices priced in US dollars after the bridge in 40-ish or so hours. Hope that answers your question. That's good to know. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, guys. And again, I lived through that period of euphoria, guys. Like, everyone makes decisions based off their emotions. You cannot allow yourself to make decisions based off emotions. You need to create an objective set of criteria based off objective parameters that aren't influenced by your emotions and make decisions based off that. That's the only way to be profitable, in my opinion. Do you know pulse ration, Zach? Don't know what you mean, BitHacks. Maybe you could repeat your question in the comments. I'm not able to add anything on my Trust wallet, though. Yeah, so this is another thing, too, guys. It might take several months, many months, for Ledger, for Trust Wallet to integrate support for the PulseChain. Kind of sucks. Nothing we can do about it. Does anyone know if price is apparent on the day of the bridge, or how does it actually work? So the issue is that when the bridge goes live in 48 or so hours, people will slowly start bridging over stable coins. Like, they'll bridge over USDC and they'll get wrapped USDC, right? They'll bridge over DAI and they'll get wrapped DAI, and then they'll make pools based off that. But the issue is that it's going to be extremely illiquid the first day, the first week. Like, it's going to take a month, 2 months, 3 months, even longer, for enough liquidity to slowly, every day, more people getting in, more people bridging in liquidity, for this shit to be not insanely volatile. And so it's going to be a gradual process. It's going to be very gradual. LS is ain't shit. I'm out of wine. I got to get some more, man. It's a night we're celebrating. I know, guys. Like, I'm here with y'all instead of having a drink. Which is totally okay, by the way. I much more prefer being with you guys, celebrating this moment, because it's awesome. This is honestly a historic moment. To be in a protocol that has the potential of flipping Ethereum one day. People don't realize it now, but 10 years from now, people are going to be like, holy shit, you got into PulseChain day one? You got in the beginning? Like, it's going to be like getting into Bitcoin or Ethereum when it first came out. I sub. Please take my question. Granddad Hermes, I hope I answered your question. If I didn't, please reword it. I see you said thanks later on. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. I just woke up in UK. This is too much to take in. Guys, this is a lot to take in. I spent several hours getting my shit sorted out, so no need to FOMO, guys. There's going to be dips. We have tomorrow. The issue is we're extremely illiquid pre-bridge, and we're going to be pretty goddamn illiquid the first couple days, first week. So my point is dollar cost averaging, having a long-term mindset, not FOMOing everything day one is the only way to mitigate all this uncertainty, all this volatility, all this slippage, all this low liquidity, is to just have a very calm, cool, collected, several week dollar cost average strategy. Not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. Never thought he would launch on a Friday night. Yeah. A lot of people thought it would never launch at all. So, man, the amount of people who think I'm fucking nuts for doing this shit is essentially everyone I know. But I think I'll be vindicated in the end. When do we get the copies? We already got the copies, my guy. Lamau, too much to take. My transactions are stuck and are not appearing on the scan. If your transactions are getting stuck, I would encourage you to increase the gas limit. What I did when I had a bunch of pending stuck transactions is I went into my wallet and I canceled all of them. I increased the gas limit, and then once you cancel them, just make sure that any future transactions you make, you do so having increased the gas limit. That's all you can do. Should I buy PLS or PLSX? Why not both? Not financial advice, but what I'm doing is getting both. Let's take a look at the ratios. 345, pretty decent. I know I was accumulating at that ratio, 1-90, pretty decent. I've been accumulating a good bit at this ratio. So, I've been using some of my hex copies to buy PulseChain and PulseX at these very ratios we're seeing right now. Not financial advice. PulseX is dropping. Guys, who gives a fuck about the short term, man? We're in this game until 2025. 1 hex to 500 PLS as well. So if that ratio ever happens, you're getting an incredible deal. I would agree. I would definitely agree that 1 hex to 500 PulseChain is a fucking amazing deal. Yes. Hex dumping wrecked me a bit because that was a majority of my bag. Dude, it's a very significant size portion of my bag as well. But the thing that really helps me hold through the rough times and really helps me not care, and I really don't get stressed out when I see these candles. Like, I look at this and I say, fuck, that kind of sucks. It kind of bums me out for a couple minutes. But I really don't let it get to me because I understand that all of this noise right here is just bullshit. Because I'm in it for the gains come over fucking here. So who gives a shit what the fuck is happening in these regions? Because it's all just noise to get to the inevitable fucking finish line over here. This is why I'm in the game. The finish line over here. So does it really fucking matter what we look like, in the meanwhile, getting to our ultimate goal? No, it doesn't goddamn matter. Unless you're doing some short-term trading, unless you're swapping for PulseChain, okay, then it matters more. But the point is, I'm in it for the home run, hit it out of the ballpark play. That ain't till summer 2025. So who gives a fuck about all this bullshit nonsense? This is just noise, folks. This is what you got to be looking out for. So that's how I kind of, rationalize things in my mind. I mean, how do we pull over the copies in our wallet when on the PulseChain network? Like, how do I find my P hex? Okay, so always go to official sources when looking up smart contract addresses. So if you want to add PulseChain or PulseX to your wallet, you go to pulsechain.com, and there's a prompt here. You add PulseX to your MetaMask, you add PulseChain to your MetaMask, okay? For all other tokens, you go to scan.pulsechain.com. This is this is like Etherscan for Ethereum, but on PulseChain, all right? You go here, you look up hex. All right. Get the smart contract address. You copy this address, and when you open up your MetaMask, you know where it says import tokens or add tokens. You just copy and paste this smart contract address there, and that's where it'll show your p hex. And let's say you're trying to find p hex, on the exchange, like it's right here as a default, but you can do this with any other coin. Let's say you're trying to find USDC, you would look it up, copy the smart contract address, go over here, paste the smart contract, and then there you go. It's right there. So always go to official sources, PulseChain.com, and scan.pulsechain.com for any other token you're looking to add to either the DEX or your wallet. Team Alliance, it bounced up to 1,570 about an hour ago. Yeah, it's a great ratio. Should have, I think I already answered that. What if I don't have enough pulse to cancel? Is there a faucet? Yeah, for those of you who don't have enough pulse, I'm sorry, guys. You're fucked until the bridge. You just got to wait until the bridge, man. There's no other answer. I'm sorry. If you don't have a friend that can send you some PulseChain, then you got to wait until the bridge. I'm sorry. That's all I can do. I saw that and it was short-lived. How do we claim the coins? Again, I would invite you, my good sir, to look back 2 minutes in this live stream where I mentioned you can find official smart contract addresses at scan.pulsechain.com or pulsechain.com. You look up whatever you're trying to look up, like Hex, for example. You look up Hex. This is a smart contract. You copy this, and then you paste it in your wallet. Very simple. Can't seem to clear any of my transactions no matter what I do. So, again, I would invite you to cancel. One thing you can do, I'm not financial. One thing you can do is just cancel them, max out the gas limit. That's not working. It might be an issue where something that I've done that's happened in the past is where I'll change networks from Ethereum back to PulseChain. And in doing so, that clears up some of the transactions that are stuck. So if you cancel the transactions, max out the gas limit, and that's not working, try switching from Ethereum back to PulseChain, and that works for me. Got my Pepe copy right on. Back to Merilot. I'm waiting for 3-to-1 PulseX to swap some. Okay, man, you do you, but I don't know, man. I would only ratio trade if I saw a great deal. And a 1-to-3 ratio, 1-to-4 seems pretty average. It doesn't strike me like I'm getting any kind of massive deal here. This strikes me as like, okay, this kind of makes sense. So I wouldn't, but you do you, boo. How much return do you think we will get from staking 100 million plus? Okay, so I can tell you, I'll tell you for fun, but like I went on a massive spiel about 10 minutes ago in this live stream talking about how I think the most accurate way of thinking about taking profits and thinking about price predictions is more so based off timing analysis, looking out for the factors and understanding the factors of when a parabola has ended. So basically just summer 2025, taking profits then regardless of whether it's 100x or 1000x, to make a long story short. But look, I've said this publicly. I'll say it to you now to kind of answer your question. I would be extremely disappointed if we don't see at least a 100x for PulseChain and PulseX on the chart from the all-time low to the all-time high, whatever the all-time high ends up being sometime, in 2025. Now, very few people end up buying the all-time low and selling the all-time high, right? But my point is, if we don't see 100x on the chart this cycle one, I'd be very disappointed. So you do the math on that. What's a good pulse to PulseX ratio? In my opinion, guys, ratio trading only makes sense if you're getting a deal. What a deal looks like to me is something extreme, where what we saw on testnet, what we're seeing now on mainnet, is we're seeing about a 1-to-3, 1-to-4 ratio. So unless we see a 1-to-10, 1-to-15, a 1-to-20 ratio, that's when it would be obvious that, oh, in this case, I'm getting a deal. In that case, I would sell some Pulse for PulseX. But if we're seeing a ratio that's around what's likely to be expected, then you're not getting a deal, and it doesn't make sense to ratio trade, in my opinion. But if you're looking to accumulate, like if you had Hex as dry powder to accumulate, if you had stable coins as dry powder to accumulate, then that's a different question. Like in that case, I would, like, let's say you had some Hex copies that you were looking to sell, right? I'm not giving you financial advice, but I'm telling you that I swapped some hex for PulseChain at a 1 to 91 ratio. I did that. I swapped some hex for some PulseX at a ratio of this at around these ranges. So not financial advice, but I did that. But I'm also dollar cost averaging. I'm not blowing my load all at once, right? Like I'm gonna have some, for tomorrow, for after the bridge. So dollar cost averaging for testnet, and I think it's not working for mainnet. Yeah, cancel max head doesn't work. Yeah, try switching in between different networks. If not, I would suggest probably hopping onto the PulseChain Telegram group and asking some people there. Never through DMs. I'm talking about the official PulseChain Telegram group, which you can find by going to oh shit. Where can you find it? I'm pretty sure if you go to richard.com, there should be a link for the Telegram. Unless he fucking took it down. Did he take it down? Oh my goodness, he took it down. Ugh. Yeah. Always go to official sources, folks, because there's some scam rooms you gotta be aware of. Yeah, t.me. Yeah, so if you go here, the pulsechain.com, Twitter, there's a link for the Telegram group. I would suggest asking people in the Telegram group. Anyone DMing you is a scammer. My bad. How long do we have to claim without penalty? Not sure what you're referring to, my guy. K4K Crypto tweeted about frozen transactions and how to get rid of them. Richard Hart also retweeted it. Okay, that is, I appreciate you, my good sir, my good female. I don't want to assume your gender. That would be quite racist of me. But let's see if we could find that tweet, because that would be quite helpful. Okay, here it is. If you get a stuck transaction, you can use this trick if cancel transaction in MetaMask is failing you. Just replace ETH with PLS, and it's the same dealio. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing out, my guy. Go to Richard Hart's Twitter. He retweeted this. Follow those instructions. Hope that helps. I have a bay of PLSX. Should I buy PLS now or wait? What do you think? I have a bag, you're saying? All right. Look, again, ratio trading only makes sense if there's a deal. I don't think there's a deal to be had with this ratio. So personally, I'm only buying PulseChain with dry powder and keeping my PulseX, because something you got to realize that in a couple months, you'll be able to stake your PulseX in a single side staking pool, very similar to PancakeSwap, and earn 30%, 40%, 50% on some random ass coin that you can use that APY to sell and buy PulseChain. So I'm not selling any of my PulseX, especially not at a ratio that's like very, very fucking average. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, goodness, folks. We have caught up to all the comments. I gotta say, Motto was saying, gotcha, thanks. I got you, man. Is the price at the top right corner the current price of PulseX? I sure goddamn fucking hope it is. It might fucking be. If that's the price. Okay, so the issue is that there's no liquidity right now, guys. So this is all this number is based off the copies, which are kind of worthless. So this number is not real, unfortunately. So we won't have a trustworthy dollar value until a couple days after the bridge. So while I cannot wait for the fucking day that that number is a real sustainable number, I think it will take a little bit of time. These numbers aren't real. Yeah, Team Alliance is saying it is real, but in ratio terms. Yeah, guys. So very unfortunate. If this was the number, oh my god. So let's take a look at Twitter, guys. See if there's anything new from Richard. Oh, by the way, shout out to RH Max. This is a good guy, very smart guy. He's been making a lot of videos talking about running validators. He, I managed to catch. He was live and caught off guard when PulseChain went live. That was very funny. Oh my goodness, folks! Super, super exciting. I can't wait to see what Liquid Loans does, what Power City does, Internet Money. All these other. Fatty, famous, Fiat. Fuck, it's exciting days, guys. Even Coast. I can't wait to see what they do with their onboard and offboard. Bro, PLS is wrecked right now, unusable. Matt show. Oh, by the way, guys, I'll be on the Power City YouTube channel sometime next week, Wednesday, Thursday next week. So you can look forward to catching me over there then. Bro, PulseX. Guys, when PulseX first went live, I couldn't fucking load the website. It wouldn't load for me. Like I was hearing all these people talking about making transactions, and I couldn't do shit. Sneaky good find. Just saying PulseChain is about to launch. So KDP managed to figure some alpha in terms of the launch. That's funny. Let's take a look at the hex price. Oh, look at all this nonsense. Why don't we take a look at this? Yeah, so look, guys, not gonna lie, this does suck, but who cares? Like, PulseChain is here, PulseX is here. The bull market's March 2024. The halving, is March 2024. The bull market's 2025. All this shit in between is just fucking noise. It's nonsense. Are we in the game for 2x's, for 5x's? That's some stock market bullshit. We're not here all spending this time with each other for 2x's, for 5x's. So who gives a fuck about these short-term nonsense, guys? The tens of x's, the hundreds of x's, that ain't gonna come till mid-ish 2025, late 2025, right? So who gives a fuck about the short-term stuff? I will DCA fresh powder. Absolutely my concern. That is my plan as well. So folks, look, I want to take a moment to again ask all you good people to like, surprise, like and subscribe. I gotta read this because I think it's funny. Yo, Brandon just made it, and hell yeah to the LGBTQ. Oh yeah. So very briefly here, the channel is indeed sponsored by Bud Light, Lockheed Martin, FTX, and Bybit. So I'm very proud to announce me and Charlie D'Amelio will be doing TikTok dances to distract from the upcoming conflict somewhere in the Pacific. I'm not contractually allowed to name the location of the predicted incoming conflict, but me and Charlie D'Amelio will be dancing in order to distract from kind of casualty rates. And so I'm very proud to announce that partnership with Lockheed Martin. So great stuff there. Richard said, so Richard forked ETH about 2 days ago because I bought Hex 2 days ago, and the Hex I bought wasn't on PulseChain. Oh, that may be the case. Yeah. So we don't know. Actually, that's interesting. I have yet to confirm when the fork date was. I think it was it Walrus that I think it was Walrus. Why don't we take a moment? I think it was Walrus who tweeted out when the block height was. Give me a second here, my guys. PulseChain is live. Oh, hold on. Oh, very fucking cool. Okay, guys, I just saw something pretty cool. Everyone like and sub and share right now because I'm gonna share with you guys something pretty cool right now. All right, look at this. Okay, so these are the prices. Let's see what wrapped PulseChain is worth. So wrapped PulseChain is currently at a 3x over day one sack price. Very, very, very interesting. What's the I want to see hex the pulse chain. Did I miss it? Where's the hex the pulse chain? Hex. There's wrap balls. All right, take a look at this. Okay, so these are currently kind of the prices we're looking at. Interesting. Hex wrap pulse chain. But essentially here, guys, so if we take a look at USDC to wrap pulse chain, again, these prices are not trustworthy because it's pre-bridge. So these are kind of made up numbers. But with that being said, it does seem like we're hovering at a 3x over the day one sack rate, given the caveat that pre-bridge, these numbers aren't very believable. But it's kind of cool to see that. Yeah. So I wanted to see if why don't we take a second and take a look at this. Hold on here. At this Twitter space, see if they're saying anything interesting. I'm just gonna make sure I'm sharing my audio. Give me 1 second here.
Maybe I just didn't figure this out on V4. So I've created the liquidity. I have the PLP tokens.
I mean, if you guys can hear this,
but I'm not seeing a way, and maybe I just need to be more patient and wait. So I have the PLP pair created. I have the tokens. I go to farms though, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out a way to activate those PLP tokens in a pair that is not the PLSX PLS pair. Do you guys have any insights on that?
I mean, I'm just guessing here, but I believe, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that those pairs for the farm are put into the system. I don't think we make those pairs. So that might be the only one that's earning incentive token right now for farms.
So you're earning. So okay. So correct my understanding here if I'm wrong. When you create the pair and you have the PLP tokens that represent your pair, do you start earning fees on that pair automatically? Yes. But the farm is the activation to earn the incentive token on that pair.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm earning fees. I'm just not getting incentive token on this other pair.
You can stake your PLP tokens in any farm that's available. And if the PLS, the PLSX is the only farm available, then I think that's the only.
Yeah, so it seems like they're focused on discussing liquidity providing. Folks, for me, especially in a moment where pre-bridge and in early days post-bridge are especially extremely volatile, that's the point in which it makes the least amount of sense to provide liquidity. But on the other side, that's when liquidity pools are finished, where you can get the highest, rewards and potentially, the most incentive token. So if you're going to provide liquidity, I would only do it with a very small portion of my portfolio, like 5%, if that. And if you got to ask, how do I provide liquidity? You probably shouldn't be providing liquidity. I would, who wants to talk PulseChain testnet version 5? Oh my God. You motherfucker. Oh my God. If could you imagine if like Richard has to come out and clarify and be like, sorry guys, this is like testnet version 5. Hex would dump below for sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be funny man. Funny man with funny jokes. Oh my goodness. What a fucking Chad this guy though, guys. Like this guy was one of the he's a PulseChain dev, so shout out to you, Bretton, man. Would be quite interesting if I could have a conversation with him one day. KG, I'm trying to have KG back on the channel later on. Power City, the sacrifice is over. I'm very much looking forward to Power City. Power City is doing a bunch of stuff with the different apps. So folks, look, I don't know if I should keep going here. If you guys got any more questions, I'm trying to think if I've covered kind of everything. For those of you kind of interested in my talk about understanding the market cycle, I could kind of go over that and how I'm thinking about taking profits long term and what I'm looking out for. Let me know if you guys think that's interesting in the comments. If not, I can start to wrap up if you guys don't find that interesting. But in the meanwhile, why don't we read some comments here? Is there a Pulse faucet on mainnet? Have all copies, but wasn't here for the sacrifice. Yeah, there's no faucet. You got to wait till the bridge, my guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I think they're waiting for the bridge. Yeah, we're gonna wait for the bridge. I'll swap some for PLS. I have. Yeah, the problem is that you need PulseChain to even conduct that swap in the first place. And unfortunately, to my understanding, I just feel something in my arm. To my understanding, is that there's no faucet. It's over. Go for it. Okay, I got the go ahead, so I'll go for it. Okay. Quick question. Is the PulseX LP live yet? Yeah, 100%, my guy. It is live. That's why you're able to swap in between them. If there wasn't LP, you wouldn't be able to swap. It just happens to be rather illiquid, is all. Yeah, but these are decent ratios. Like I've been accumulating. I was kind of hoping more for like a 200 to 300 kind of ratio, but 95 around 100 is not bad. I was making that ratio trade, not trade accumulation. So yeah. Okay, guys, look, I want to talk about the market cycle because very, very few people in the Hex ecosystem talk about this because Hex people are very, very much against trading, and rightly so. But in being against trading, I find a lot of Hex people throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that they ignore very, very obvious telltale signs of what constitutes market weakness and when a parabolic period may be ending. And they even dismiss the importance of understanding this, and very much wrongly so, because most people getting in, I bet you, most people watching right now are in this market with the understanding that you don't want to hold through a 97% correction for 2 years. Probably, right? You probably want to take some kind of profits near or around the top. Probably, right? But like a lot of these YouTubers, they should like they talk about their audience like as if this shit's not important. The shit is important, right? And so what we can see is with some degree of variation that Bitcoin specifically gets real stupid about a year or sometimes even longer, but roughly a year after the latest Bitcoin halving. Okay. Next Bitcoin halving is March 2024. Therefore, next time shit gets stupid is probably going to be March 2025, but probably August. Summers have been very bullish, historically speaking. So, that might play out again. Now, something else. So we got to understand, which is Bitcoin acts as an early warning signal. Historically speaking, Bitcoin has reached its all-time high price a month before Ethereum, and Ethereum and the altcoins reached their all-time high a month or sometimes even longer. Hex reaches all-time high. I think it was several months, 2 or 3 months, 4 months, something like that, after Bitcoin reached its all-time high. But my point is, Bitcoin has always reached its all-time high before the altcoins. So understanding when Bitcoin has reached its all-time high and when the Bitcoin parabola has ended is an early warning indicator for understanding when to take profits on our PulseChain, on our PulseX. Not financial advice, but if that's what you're interested in, which is what I'm interested in. And so one thing you can look out for is, okay, when do I understand when Bitcoin has ended its parabola? What I have found is that the 50-day SMA has done an uncannily good job of calling this. Not just in 2021, but in 2017. To give you the brief version, basically it holds a support during the bull market. Look at this. Bull market, come down, test, holds the support. Bull market, come down, test, holds the support. Bull market, come down, test, fails. Never made a new higher high. Years of bear market. 2021. Look at this. Bull market, come down, test, hold. Bull market, come down, test, hold. Bull market, come down, test, fail. And then what did we have? Months of bear, and we barely put in an all-time high for just like one day. We never had sustainable all-time highs afterwards, depending on what chart you're looking at. Different exchanges have slightly different prices. But point is, after we lost this level, we never maintained higher highs. The risk of being a bull in the market after this point for 2 cycles in a row greatly increased after this happened. And if we pair this understanding with the understanding that Bitcoin reaches a all-time high before the altcoins, and we know that the next fucking time that something like this happens, come sometime over here, that is our early warning signal to think about taking profits. In my Patreon group down in the link below, you get access to my Discord if you join. I will be attempting to get very, very close to the next all-time high, but you don't need to. Just having this rough understanding is probably good enough. But I will be sharing my take profit strategy, my portfolio percentage breakdowns in the link below if that's what you're interested in. But just understand that, I would honestly prefer that you guys focus on accumulating for yourself. Honestly, I only want people to join that once people have made like a decent amount of money. If you're not financially like free, focus on accumulating and just understand that roughly summer 2025 is when we're gonna get toppy next. I think just having that understanding is likely to be extremely, extremely helpful. A lot of hex influencers shy away from discussing this topic because they think, oh, people just fucking buy and hold forever, and people are just cool with a 97% correction for 2 years. Like, no, people care about this shit. So I hope you guys appreciate that. But guys, look, ultimately, congratulations for sticking around this long, for being here, for having sacked, for dollar cost averaging. It is early fucking days. I am very, very proud of the fact that I made a YouTube channel where I was very, very sporadic in my focus because I didn't know exactly what it took to find a successful play with both longevity and high ROI potential. And I told myself that once I found that thing, I wouldn't repeat the same mistake of letting it go. And when I found it with PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex, I committed myself to, even though I knew it would negatively impact my personal growth as a YouTuber, I knew that like I couldn't sleep with myself if I didn't do my best to explain the opportunity at hand with Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX, because I genuinely thought it was a superior opportunity over the other options. And so I sacrificed the growth of my channel in order to stick to my principles. I hope you guys appreciate that. Like and sub if you want to follow, my coverage of the market moving forward. I'll be much, much more active as now we have something to talk about finally. And just want to say congratulations. This has been quite a roller coaster, but I think it will all be worthwhile in the end. I'll wrap it up here, folks. Everyone like and subscribe. Congratulations. And until next time, take care.